Oh, hello. Welcome. I'm glad that you're joining me today. So, this is the first session of the Tiny Garden Challenge. And this is a 5-day challenge or a 5-day course, just a few minutes every day. And we are going to go through the entire process of setting up a tiny garden and having so you can have some success with it. But we're not actually going to work with the plants today because every new project starts with a goal. So today I'm going to start with a goal and a reason for why you are trying something new or setting up a garden or anything else. So at any rate, um, a while back, I put together what I call the Year Builder framework, which is a 15-page goal setting ebook that goes through the entire process that I go through when I'm setting my goals for the year and setting my yearly intentions. I'm going to basically follow that um, framework today in the context of gardening or setting up a tiny garden. And whatever your goal is, it's all good. It's up you. It's up to you. It's your goal, your reason. So today we're going to apply it. So in there's several worksheets that I've put together that will help you with this. And so the first goal worksheet in the first goal worksheet, I want you to write down, or the first thing I want you to do is to write down 5 or 10 goals. So a word or sentence to relate to 5 or 10 goals that you would like to accomplish with your gardening or in your mini gardens. And then as you're writing that down, what kind of time frame are you looking at for those goals? Okay. Is it something that you're looking for the next 30 days? Or is the goal have to do with a year? Or is that goal going to be, is it going to relate to something that you want in your life for the next 5 years? So that time frame is important. Okay. And the next thing is, why are you putting that goal together? Why do you want that goal? And I'm going to give you a few minutes for this. And just very quickly, without thinking about it too much, just write down, 5 or 10 things that you think that you want in your life. And, don't get fancy with it. Just very quickly jot some things down. So you're looking at a goal in 1 or 2 words or a sentence, a time frame, and why. Why do you want it? So I am going to give you about 3 minutes to write down your goals. Yay! The goals. All right. But you also have to get real with this. Okay. Part of the goal setting process is understanding what a hierarchy of needs is. And there's several frameworks that you can use for this. The most famous is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that's easy to look up online. But the way I like to look at it is I use a slightly different framework. So, first is what is my critical needs? That is, what are the basic needs for survival? For survival, clean food, clean water, clean air, shelter, health, and community. That's for me. That's what I would consider to be the critical needs, and I want to make sure that I get those covered. Okay. Then the important things. Okay. So what is important to make? What are the important things that fill the critical needs in an efficient way that makes your life effective? Okay. So if I want food, there's several ways to get food. I can go to this grocery store. I can grow it myself. Okay. I can go out and forage. But those important things on your list are those things that help you fill those critical needs. Helpful. Number 3 is helpful. What are those things that make life easier and more efficient? Okay. A washing machine is something that is helpful, that makes life more efficient and easier. Okay. Maybe it's a dishwasher. Maybe it's hot running water. Okay. Those are all helpful things. Okay. The 4th thing is luxuries. Okay. Those are the fun, joyful things in your life, but don't put them front and center. Okay. Arrange your life so that they become, if they are missing, they don't put you in a crisis. So, whatever those are, understand what the luxury is and what is important. Okay. Then the last thing is thoughtless. Those things that are thoughtless or pacifiers in your life, they're habits. Okay. They're things that you just reach for without thinking about them. Okay. Those are, when you get those in firmly in line in your mind, that helps you go through the goal setting process. So on your goal setting sheet, you want to go through and go, is this a critical need? Is this important? Is this helpful? Is this a luxury? Or is this just something that's thoughtless? Okay. It might be something that brings you joy. That puts it in category 3 or category 4. But if it's something that you just do because you don't think about it, that's thoughtless. And that's something that could go bye bye. Okay. That's a place that you can re you can take those resources and put them someplace else. So everything on your goal list should have one of these numbers. 1 is critical need, 2 is important, 3 is helpful, 4 is luxury. And hopefully you don't have anything on your goal list that is number 5, thoughtless. Okay. So at any rate, that's your hierarchy of needs. When you're prioritizing your goals and your ambitions, then that becomes part of factoring in how you set up those goals, those priorities. So the next thing is, if it is a goal and it's important to you and it's going to be a priority, why haven't you done it? Okay. There's some reason why you haven't achieved it. What is that reason? Is it a choke point? Does it have to do with a resource that you don't have or you don't think that you have? Is it something that you believe about this, about the garden or the process that you don't think that you can achieve? Is it money? So what is the choke point? Why is it that you're not achieving what's on that list of your goals? So be it the garden or anything else, but specifically with the garden. So some of the choke points and some of the things that hold people back from uh, creating a garden are time, space. They think it costs money. Okay? I don't have enough light. Where am I going to put the garden? I don't have time. All of these, there's ways around all of them, but sometimes you have to get creative. But it's important to know what that choke point is so that you can find a solution for that choke point. And that goes on your goal sheet, your goal worksheet, so that you've got that firmly in mind. So there's your first steps right there. That's your first worksheet. Then we prioritize. Okay. And I use a tool that's called a decision tree to prioritize my goals. But before we go on, okay, I'm going to give you a minute to fill out your hierarchy. Okay. So take 3 minutes and for each goal, where does that fit on that hierarchy? Is it a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? And why why haven't you not done that particular goal yet? What's standing in your way? What is the challenge? What is the choke point? What do you think that you do not have that you need in order to achieve that goal? So I'm going to give you 3 minutes and write those things down on your with each goal. Okay. All right. Now, next thing that I do is I'm working through if I've got goals that I am not absolutely certain of, or what is most important, or a list of things to do, I go through what's called a decision tree. Okay. And a decision tree looks like this. Okay. And each goal or each item on your list should have a number associated with it. So what you do is you compare item 1 to item 2 and so on. So item 1 to item 2, item 1 to item 3, and you decide which one of those is more important. So if one of my goals is to have a four seasons harvest that I can, or four seasons vegetables that I can harvest, that I have vegetables all year round. And I know all the vegetables that I need all year round. That might be goal 1. Okay. And goal 2 is that I am growing my critical medicines. And goal 3 is that I'm growing my herbs for cooking. So I go back to my decision tree and I decide which one of those is most important and I circle it. Okay. So you compare each one and you circle the one that's most important. And then count the number of circles you got. So in here, number 1 got 3 circles, number 2 got 2 circles, number 3 didn't get any, but number 4 got 1 circle. And then you reprioritize my goals. So the one that gets the most circles or the most counts is your highest priority goal or your highest priority task that needs to be done in order to reach your goal. So I go through and I prioritize my goal list to reflect what is most important to me. So if your goal for creating tiny gardens is the beauty, then you're going to prioritize beauty over productivity. You can get both, but if that's your goal, then you got to know that because you're not going to be happy if you have a highly productive garden that you don't like to look at. But if you like looking at it and you get a little bit out of it, then you're going to be happy. Okay. So it's important that you're happy with it, not somebody else, because that's when you're going to put your time into it. Okay. So and then once you've got that done, there's another worksheet and you can reprioritize that goal. And you start with the most important goal, and that's one that you work with. Or if that goal seems unattainable, go down your list and go, that one I can work with. This is the one that I believe that I can achieve. So choose one or the other, either what's important to you or what's most important or what's important that you can achieve. And so you write down your one goal, and then I want you to write down 3 reasons why that goal is important to you. So if the most important thing on my list is a four seasons harvest, that I am feeding myself from my gardening for 4 seasons. Okay, why is that important? 1, because I don't know for sure that the supply chain is going to put the food in the grocery store. Okay. 2, I have other people in my life that I want to take care of. 3, okay, it's healthier food. So, whatever those 3 most important reasons are why you want that goal, that's important to keep in mind. Okay. So, the next thing is, so you got 3 reasons why. Okay. Now, you want to write down 3 reasons why it's a challenge for you. And for each reason that it is a challenge, so for my goal, I've got my 3 reasons why. My challenge is where I'm living, I don't have enough light. I've got tiny little windows and not enough of them, so I have to figure out a way to get around light issues. Okay, so that's a challenge. Now I need to find a solution for that challenge. Okay, So you write down that you got three reasons why it's important, three reasons why it's a challenge, and a potential solution for each challenge. And you don't have to have the solution right now, but those challenges you're going to solve. You're going to find a way to solve a challenge. So whatever it is, even if it is, let's go ask somebody else how they solved it, or research. That's a solution. Okay. 3 points of joy. What is going to bring you joy and fulfillment from achieving that goal, achieving that purpose? Okay. So I'm going to give you a minute to write that down. And go back to this later. Okay. You can always go back to this later and fill this out later if you need more time. The next thing that I do when I'm going through this process is I break it down. So my goal is to have a 4 seasons harvest. One of my goals is to have a 4 seasons harvest. I am producing food for myself 4 seasons of the year in a climate where I have hard winters. Okay. So I need to step that back. So when is my goal to have that done? 2 years from now. All right. So if I want that in 2 years, I bring that back to 6 months from away from the goal. I need to have a cold frame in place. Okay. If I bring that back another 6 months, so a year from my goal, what do I need to have in place to have that cold frame in place? Okay. Okay. Step that back another 6 months. Okay. I need to have some indoor gardening space for the winter. Okay. Keep stepping that back until at 6 months I'm going back monthly until I get to today. Okay. This week today. So if I want a 4 seasons harvest, what is one thing that I can do today to get a 4 seasons harvest? I can plant a tiny little garden today or tomorrow. And what can I plant in it that's going to give me food for the winter? Maybe some greens. Okay. So I'm going to plant. So my step that I'm going to take today, after I've stepped this back from 2 years to now, okay, is I am going to plant a garden that I can harvest a salad from once a week. So that would be a tiny thing that I could do today because of the amount of space that I've got. Okay. So you want to step that back to a small thing that you can do today. And what would that be? Okay. In the context of tiny gardens, if you were to create an herb garden, that would be an herb garden. So what herbs do you want? Do you want Italian? Okay, you want add in your Mediterranean garden, medicinal. Okay, that's up to you. But you step that back to the one thing that you can do today, or one thing that you can do this week, and that gives you your win today. And what we are doing here is we're stepping this back to a tiny little garden, and we'll go through the rest of this process, over the next few days in this series. Okay. But I'm going to, that's your homework assignment, is to step that back. One of your homework assignments. Step that back until you get to one thing that you can do this week that's going to move you towards that goal. Okay. We'll cover the rest of this, how to achieve that step next over the next few days. Okay. Now, the fun part. Okay. The other part that I do, and the other part that this is the part that gets fun, is to get creative. Okay. So whatever your creativity point is, that's where you lean into. So reward yourself at every step of the way. Okay. So be creative. Write a story. So what would it feel like and look like if I was feeding myself from my own space, from my own gardens in 2 years? Okay. Create a collage. Draw a picture. Photographs. Photoshop yourself into those photographs. Okay. What about creating, if you're a cook, create a tea or a new recipe of some sort that would use what you're creating. Okay, that you would use your product from your 2-year goal or from your long-term goal, or even if it's just a 1-year goal, whatever that goal is, be creative, whatever your point of creativity is. Lean into that and have some fun with it. Okay? And I want to hear about I want to see it. Okay? I want to see what your creative point is. Are you going to write a story? I want to see part of that story. I want to see your paragraph. Okay? If you want to create a collage, okay, I want to see a picture of it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, draw a picture, take photographs, and share. Share it with the rest of us. There'll be a place to share. All right. Thank you. And have some fun. Okay. Reward yourself. When you sit down with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a glass of wine and some crackers. Yeah, cheese and crackers. Okay. Wine and crackers. Wine and cheese. And sit down with the process. Have some fun with it. Dig into the resources. Okay. This is a part of Delectable Tiny Gardens. This is the first course of the first class in the Tiny Garden Workshop Challenge. And I encourage you to come over and check out the classroom, classroom, check out the resources. All these resources are going to be in the classroom at Delectable Tiny Gardens. Okay, and go through the process. Okay, go through the goals and have some fun with this. Okay, come dig in the dirt with me. All right, thank you. Oh, have a good day.